friends, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to mount these two newly acquired oncidiums on this beautiful layered rock, which is usually used for bonsais, and I'll also tell you how I care for my oncidium orchids. Oncidiums are quite different to care for from phals and dendrobiums. You can see they have these fat pseudobulbs, and on the sides and top of these pseudobulbs the leaves are there. The leaves are quite thin, not thick as phalaenopsis and other orchids. And these pseudobulbs are the water and energy storage structures, and they help to keep the orchid alive during periods of drought. However, any problem which causes the pseudobulbs to spend the energy actually sets back the plant a lot, and oncidiums they take a very long time to bounce back. Oncidiums are epiphytic orchids, so they can be potted as well as they can be mounted. So for potting, I prefer terracotta pots or plastic pots with good drainage and ventilation holes. And these they don't like to dry out completely between the waterings. They love moisture, so a water retentive media like bark or charcoal and moss is suitable for these. The media should never go bone dry. It should be 30 to 40% moist while watering the next time. Not dripping wet, but just moist. The frequency of watering will depend on your climate, your setup. I have to run water through the pots every 2 to 3 days during the summer and once a week during the rainy season and during the winters. Other than that, I lightly spray the aerial roots daily, and for my mounted oncidiums, I spray them thoroughly with tap water once daily almost all year round, except for very hot and dry days when they require a second time light spraying during the evening. The moss in my mounds hold quite a bit of moisture, and the humidity here stays around 60 to 80% on an average all year round. And oncidiums they like humidity of around 50 to 60%, so it's not a problem for me. If you live in dry climate and where the relative humidity is very low, then maintaining mounted oncidiums or in fact any mounted orchids is going to be a bit challenging. Now coming to the light requirements, my oncidiums are in this portion of my northeastern facing balcony, where they receive very bright light all throughout the day, but they don't get any direct light. They get burnt very easily, so keep them protected from harsh direct sunlight. They like intermediate temperatures, so during hot months of May and June I bring them indoors to my bright window. I will get to the fertilizing part once I mount these. So my orchids are a bit dehydrated from the transit, and they already have come out of their pots as the media was very loose and they don't have any extensive root system. So I will soak these in water for about 10-15 minutes. Then I will remove the husk gently from around the roots. I don't like husk as it's very unreliable. It stays soggy, and it's very compact and it suffocates the roots. Just be careful, be gentle. We don't want to break any roots. I will remove the dead roots. They feel mushy and they come off easily when we pull slightly. After that, after removing all the dead tissue, I will clean the whole orchid under running tap water. I don't use hydrogen peroxide for my regular potting or mounting. Only if I suspect any infection going on, then I use hydrogen peroxide. Otherwise, I'll just clean with running tap water. And now I will mount these on this beautiful layered rock. In the beginning, I used to face a problem with my sick dehydrated oncidiums. The oncidiums they like more moisture, they like more humidity, but as soon as any water it used to touch the new growths, they used to rot and die. That seems to be in control right now. Once I started mounting my oncidiums, any bit of water left on the foliage it dries out very fast, whereas the moss around the roots it retains just the right amount of moisture needed for the plant overall. First, I'll lay a layer of moss to cushion the roots in one of the crevices. I'll be using these crevices for mounting. They will act as natural anchors. And now I'll place the orchid, then some moss on top of the roots to cover. the orchid, and I'll just go on pushing the moss inside this crevices so that it holds the orchid in place. The orchid by itself is quite stable now. One can leave it here, no need to tie. The new roots will soon attach themselves to the rock. I'll do the same with the other one as well. A shaded, well ventilated place for a week or so, and I'll spray water twice daily in the beginning, as the humidity nowadays is a bit less, I think around 45-50%. And after a few days I will move it back to my balcony and spray water once or twice daily, making sure that the moss stays just moist and never dries out completely. I will wait for at least 15 days before applying any fertilizers. After that, I will fertilize with liquid seaweed extract and epsom salt every 15 to 20 days. Oncidiums, they grow all year round, so no need to cut back fertilizer or water during the winters. However, make sure to use a orchid specific and diluted formula, as these are very sensitive to these. Change in the pH of water, or if the concentration of the fertilizer is not proper, if we use a strong fertilizer, then it immediately reflects on the leaves and the roots and the leaf tips, they burn immediately. So be very careful while fertilizing oncidiums. You can also check my mounted orchids care video on how I fertilize and maintain the mounted orchids and how I use seaweed extract on my orchids. And the link I have provided here on the info card as well as in the description box. So that's all for today. I think I touched on all the important aspects of oncidium growing in this video. And if you find this video useful, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.